Hey y'all, it's Crystal Nicole, and I am checking in. I'm not done with talking about marriage. I have about two or three more things that I want to deep dive into, but one of them I'm gonna wait. I have to do a little more deep diving because I'm gonna get into the virtuous woman really soon. But for now, if you're looking for a kingdom marriage, a kingdom spouse, someone that you feel that God handcrafted and created just for you, that is basically the most perfect thing you can have for your journey and your mission, and you're going to God and seeking God to reveal this person to you and bring this person to you and prepare you for this person and prepare that person for you. This is something you might want to listen to. If that ain't your goal, I'm not the person for you. You might as well ignore it or listen. You might still learn something. If you're seeking God for marriage and you're going after it, and you're the person that's saying, I pray for my husband or my wife every day, and your prayers look like this: God, give me a man that's 6 feet tall, and he's nice looking, and he has this, and he has muscles, and he has this size body parts, and he's rich, and he has this nice car, and he has money, and he has nice hair, and he takes me everywhere and pays for everything, and we travel together. And this is what you pray for. This is what you mean when you say, I pray for my husband every day. You have epically failed, because it's okay to have those things. However, none of that is marriage. You're not really praying for that man. You're praying for a fun boy. You're not really seeking God to really establish that man as your husband, because you're just caring about what he has and what he looks like and what he can do for you. You're not ready to be a wife, and you're not ready for marriage if this is your prayer. And I'm not saying that you cannot ask for these things. I'm not saying that you shouldn't ask God for what you're attracted to. What I'm saying is that is not enough. That's too surface. That's too basic. That is not you really praying for that man. And if that's the type of prayers you have before you get married, how can you spiritually back this man and be his help and protector and guard him spiritually? And you don't even know how to pray. You don't know how to cover him. You don't know how to go to God about his well-being right now. Because all of that stuff should be being done right now. You're too focused on asking for what pleases you and what makes you feel good and what'll blow your back out and what'll have you waking up with a smile on your face, what'll get you free meals and what'll get you nailed to the cross and what'll get your thighs rubbed and what'll get your things smacked around and flipped around and turned over and pleased. And you epically failed to do what's necessary. You should be praying over his health. You should be praying over his children, because those are now your children. You should be praying over his parents, because those are your in-laws. Those are now your parents. You should be praying over the merger, especially if you have children, because your children is now his and his is yours. You can call it what you want, step or whatever. I don't really like step nothing. That is your family now. And you need to be praying that your family merge well with his, and you get along well with his parents, and he gets along well with yours. You should be praying over his finances, over his business, over his day-to-day walk, over his mindset, over his environment, over his friends, because they might not like you. They might have too much influence. You want to make sure he's hearing from God. You should be praying over his spiritual walk, his relationship, his discernment, his peace, his mind. You want to get steps ahead, because if that is your man, how he looks and how he makes you feel is something that's temporal. You don't need a husband to have somebody that look good and smell good and that can blow your back out and make you feel good and that'll nail you to the cross. It won't cost you your last name to get that. And that's all you're looking for. You probably not ready to be a wife. If you're looking for purpose and covenant and a teammate, if you're looking for somebody to help you do life with, to build with, to grow with, to be established with, that's wife, that's husband. But if you're not even praying for those things, then you ain't even looking for it. You might think you're looking for it, but why aren't you preparing for it? Why aren't you spiritually already building bricks and building a foundation so God can take that as a seed and water it and cause it to grow now? Beyond that, sis, I'm gonna keep it real with you. It's a whole world of women that's gonna want what you got. And the devil don't want marriages. He don't like love. And he's going to try to come in some way, somehow, and disturb it. And if you make it to the vows and you get married, you're gonna have to also be praying on good communication, and that you guys have agape love, that you can have conversations and get over things and forgive each other and communicate. That you guys can compromise and agree, that your attitude is peaceful and his is, that it's not confrontational. You should be praying over his spirit, his attitude. You should be praying against witchcraft, because there are going to be some people that's going to try to go to see somebody and come up with some kind of concoction of something and burn stuff, and they're going to be gunning for your man or your woman. They gunning for it. Pray against witchcraft and hexes, because people ain't out here trying to play fair. You're going to have people that's not going to like him and not going to like you. You're going to attract enemies because you have that. You're going to have people that's going to try to intercept and come against it. So then your prayers should already be going up for that. Already. You should already be considering what could go wrong and what might go wrong, and be moments and months and steps ahead by talking to God about this regularly, daily. And if you're only praying for his temperament and his attitude and his finances and his pockets, you're not ready. Because what about your temperament and your attitude and your finances and your pockets? What about you being compromising? What about him being a leader? You need to pray that God show him how to be a leader to you. And you also need to pray that God shows him how to follow him so that God can lead. The thing is, God is who you want to keep in the forefront of your God-ordained purpose and marriage. You want God to speak to this man and show this man how to treat you, how to respond to you, how to react to you, because he won't know how to do it unless he goes to God. And you also need to be doing the same thing and going to God on how to respond to him, how to treat him, how to deal with him, how to deal with each situation. Because God is the maker of that person. Let's say something's wrong with your car and you take it to a typical mechanic. Something wrong with your car and you try to take it to a regular shop, and they look at it and they don't understand exactly what's wrong, because your car was made by, let's say, Toyota. Okay, so they're going to say, you need to take this back to Toyota. Toyota is the make of this car. They know the intricacies of it. They understand how they made it and what they put in it. And there are some things that Toyota did to Toyota that can't nobody else mess with. There are some parts that you got to go straight to Toyota to get. There's some stuff that only Toyota can fix, because Toyota is the make. Now, when it comes down to your man and or your wife, your kingdom spouse, God made them who they are. He knows all the intricacies. I probably pronounced that wrong, but he knows everything is equipped with. There's a manual for it, and the manual comes from the maker. You have to go back to the maker and seek them for this manual and say, how do I fix this? This is acting up. This ain't functioning the way it is. So when you have a patch or a rough moment in your marriage or with your husband or with your kingdom spouse, sometimes only thing you can do is go back to the dealership, go to the maker of him and say, you know how he's made, you know what's missing. You know what's not operating correctly. And this is why God should be kept at the forefront of every union, every relationship, every marriage, because he knows what to tell you to do. He's the maker. And a lot of times you'll have this make a model of a person that comes equipped with special things that you didn't even know. Sometimes when you start looking through that manual of that car, you realize that car do some stuff that you didn't know it did. And you like, dang, I didn't know this could do that. I didn't know it came equipped with this too. And it's a surprise, but you like it. It's not even what you prayed for. It's not even what you asked for. You didn't go to that dealership looking for a car with those specific added things. But when you seen it was there, you enjoyed it and you liked it. God also does that. God gives you what you need, and he gives you what you don't know you need. And he always adds a little extra. It's important to keep God first. It's important to seek him. It's important to stay prayerful because he is the maker of man. He's seen everything he went through. He knows what makes him tick, what makes him click, what makes him respond, what makes him happy, what makes him sad, what helps him to get over, what makes him unwind. And there's only so much you can figure out on your own. I don't care how much you study him. There are some deep embedded things that only God can see. And you got to go to God for that. You got to see God for that, which is why God should be the head of your union. So when I say God ordained union, I'm talking about keeping God from the beginning to the end. And how you start anything typically is how you end it. If I walk through the door being prayerful and seeking God for you, about you, then typically odds are I'm going to walk through this whole relationship and this whole marriage being prayerful, because how you start, you should finish. So why start off only wanting somebody to blow your back out and rub your thighs and to kiss on you and to cuddle and to just lay around and watch movies and touch on each other and play in each other's hair? It's cool. It's nice. But that's just a benefit. It's an added benefit. It's an added benefit to all the other stuff. So if you're only praying for that surface stuff, you're not ready to be a wife. You're not ready to be his helper. You can't help him without nothing in your hand to help with. You don't even know to go to God for your help to help him. He has to be led to lead you, and you have to be led to help him. But if you don't know that and you don't understand it and you're not looking into that, you're not ready. Now, there are some things that he may be interested in that you're just not a fan of, like sports. So you should be praying that God give you the tolerance to be able to support him, that God helps you support something that you don't quite know and understand, because that's just what he really likes and loves. Vice versa, like me, I'm into hair. I'm a hairstylist. I like to paint and color hair. I'm a wig maker, and I understand men do not like that. It is my business as well. However, my prayer now is that he understands it is something I've loved to do since I was a little girl, and it's just like my thing. I have to pray that he supports it and that he allows me to function in it the way I would like to. It's just something that you should already be praying about, because you don't want these small things and small fires to spoil the vine, because they're not worth spoiling the vine. So you should be praying already that this person is going to be supportive of the things you like and love, and you guys can make compromises on the things you both like and love, and that you do the same for him. Nevertheless, I have to have a voice in my union. I will want to be heard and listened to and acknowledged and considered, and what I desire and want should also be considered. So that's something I have to pray over, because I don't know if the leader that I'm going to have is going to be like that. So if that's not a trait, if compromising isn't a trait, if listening to what you want and listening to what you desire and you need isn't something he's the strongest at because he's a leader and he's a masculine, then you should start praying that God softens his heart in a way towards you, that he gives him a grace for you. There's some things that he may want and he may desire that you might not be so much into. However, you should still consider it and still say, you know what, this is a small X. This is what he wants. This is what he desires. He deserves it. He's worthy. So pray over your heart. Pray over you. Pray over you guys' ability to communicate and compromise and listen to each other and hear each other out and consider each other's thoughts, desires, ways, because you're supposed to be submitting to each other. Submitting to one another. Considering one another, compromising with one another. You want a voice in your marriage, but you still want that leader to lead, and you want him to consider you, and you want him to acknowledge you, and you want him to take in thought of what you desire as well. But you should also want to take thoughts of what he desires and what he wants you to help him with, and how he wants you to nurture him, how he wants you to just cultivate the relationship, how he wants you to treat him when he's feeling certain ways, when he's desiring certain things. You should already be praying that you have the ability and you're equipped for what he's needing. And then he's equipped for what you're needing, emotionally, spiritually, as well as physically. You should already be learning what he likes and what he's into, and studying what he desires, and just paying attention to how he responds to things, and paying attention to how he reacts to certain things, and learning your spouse. That way you can better serve him, because you know what he's interested in, you know what he likes, you know what he desires, you knows what makes him tick, because you've paid attention. And if you don't pay attention and you don't understand how he works and what makes him tick and what he enjoys and what he doesn't, then you cannot properly serve that man. And if you don't know these things, you need to be going to God and asking him to reveal it to you, so that you can do the best job that you can do at being his wife, at being his lover, at being his best friend. And you should be praying that he does the same things for you, so that he can be the best leader for you, so he can be your best friend, so he can treat you the way you need to be treated, so he can operate the way he should operate as head of household, as the leader, as your husband, as your forever thing. All of that matters. If you're not praying for these things, if you're not taking these things in consideration, if you're not deep diving into what a relationship and a communion and a covenant is, and a partnership is, and what teamwork is, you're not ready. Having a nice set of thighs in your bed is nice. Waking up to masculinity and muscles and early bird things, and going to bed to night things. It's nice. Nice. It would be great to have all of that, but you know it's even greater to have all of that plus your soulmate, to have all of that plus your person, plus someone who loves you, who understands you, who listens to you, who's considerate of you, who takes the time out to go to God about you, who takes the time out to seek God, to seek your maker. And I'm gonna also give you a little more game. If you are not willing to be open and share everything, you're not ready. If you're holding secrets and there are things you're saying, I'll never reveal this, and you need to hide money in bank accounts and people you still socialize with, and you're not willing to let go of the exes and the old friends and certain lifestyles, you're not ready. If you're not willing to sacrifice you and your personal space and just being able to get up and do what you want to do when you feel like doing it, you're not ready. If you've been in previous relationships that did you dirty, that harmed you, and you told yourself never again, and you're holding this grudge, you're not willing to give all of you to another man, you're not willing to be submissive to that magnitude again, and you're a little callous and you're a little headstrong and you just refuse to be that soft, feminine, trusting woman because someone took advantage of it, you are not ready. And what you really did was you allowed someone to come in and steal something from you that was precious, and it wasn't for them, no way. It was for your God ordained husband. It wasn't theirs for the taking. They didn't use it correctly and they didn't treat it right because it wasn't even for them. They didn't deserve it. They were not worthy. So the fact is, you say, I'm never going to love again like this. I'm never going to give my all to another man. I'm never going to give this much and trust as much because this fool mishandled it. Says that is identity theft. You allow him to take something precious from you and you need to get it back. Don't go into a situation or a marriage without that. You need that to help your marriage be sustained because you can't come over there half hurt, not trusting, and treating this man as if he did you the way somebody else did you. Somebody who didn't choose you. Somebody who wasn't even willing to go this far with you or marry you or treat you right. You're willing to let that fool mess it up for your God-ordained spouse, for the man who took the time out to seek your maker, the man who wants to put a ring on it and take care of you, the man who chose you, the man who wants to do right by you, and you're not going to give him what's due to him. You're not ready. You just want to be fondled. You just want to be treated out. You want free meals. You bored. You want somebody to take you somewhere and go somewhere with you and spend some money and put you to bed all night and give you that NyQuil and knock your back out and nail you to the cross. Mm-mm. No. If you don't deem yourself priceless and precious and you're willing to give yourself to everything and everybody and you're still keeping a roster of men and women and you have a lineup and you're talking to him regularly saying, once he come, I'm gonna let them go. You're not ready. You ain't ready. Because what you holding on to it for? Why are you waiting? Sometimes that's the reason why it ain't came. God ain't finna send you somebody that to sit in the seat that's filled. And I don't care who's sitting in it. I don't even care if they not committed. If you got somebody in that man's place getting your attention, getting your time, and getting what pieces and remnants of what's supposed to only go to him, God ain't finna give it to you. That ain't how God move. That ain't how God bless. You have to be available. If you're not available, you're just not available. And you praying for this husband, but you got a fun boy and you got a fun girl. You're not ready. if you're seeking God to do it for you, to do it with you, to show you how to do it, this is how it should look. You should be seeking God for more than the basics, for more than physical attributes. God knows what you want. He's gonna give you what you're attracted to. He's gonna give you what you didn't even know you were attracted to. That man or that woman is gonna come from the maker with extras, with stuff you didn't even know you want. I pray that I'm a shocker, because I want him to be like, dang, I ain't know that girl can do this too. I didn't know she was fully equipped with this. I didn't even know I wanted this, but I love this about her. And that's my prayer. I want him to have some extras. I want him to be shocked that she came equipped with this and she's fully loaded, because the maker of this car threw in some extras that gave me everything I needed and wanted, and threw in some extras. And you also need to be praying that you guys continue to grow together, and who you are today may be different than who you are in 5 or 10 years, but you pray that he evolves with you and he can love you the same in 5 and 10 years and 20 years as he could today, because we are continually evolving and growing and maturing in ways, and we don't want to grow apart. So you pray that you grow together in love and spirituality. You pray that that man continues to see God, and you pray that you continue to. So that's it. That's all. I'm gonna leave it there. You ain't gotta agree with me, just don't disagree, because I know I'm right.